With Techtober rolling around and the much anticipated iPhone 12 release, I've been getting asked left and right about leaks and different tech specs that have been showing up on Twitter and things like that. And I'm going to condense all of that down and answer one question for you. Should you buy the iPhone 12? What's going on, everybody? Daniel here, and today, like you heard in the intro, I'm going to help you decide whether or not you should buy the iPhone 12. Now, I'm not telling you that you should or you shouldn't. This is all up to you because we all know it's going to be a pretty penny to get the new iPhone 12, but I did compile a list of all the information of the different leaks that have came out in previous months leading up to the release of the iPhone 12, and I figured that I would do all the hard work for you and help you decipher whether or not the iPhone 12 is going to be right for you. So, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, to start off the video today, you're going to have 4 different types of iPhones coming in 3 different sizes. To start off, you're going to have the iPhone 12 mini, which is going to come in a 5.4-inch form factor. You're going to have the iPhone 12 and the iPhone 12 Pro, both coming in at a 6.1-inch form factor. And then you're going to have the iPhone 12 Pro Max, which is going to come in at a whopping 6.7-inch form factor. And I believe it will be the biggest screen that Apple has produced to date. Now, at the beginning of the video, I do want to let you know that the iPhone 12 Pro Max, although it is coming in at a whopping 6.7 inches on its form factor, it is rumored to be the flagship phone for the new iPhone 12 series phones from Apple. I'm not sure why they've done this, being that it is the larger phone, but it is said to have all the newest and advanced tech that Apple has to offer in their phones. Everything else below that will have, it'll be more of a stripped down version rather of the iPhone 12 Pro Max. So keep that in mind as we're going out through this video. Now, I know it seems weird that I'm going to be hitting you with a bunch of downfalls of the iPhone 12 right at the beginning of the video, but that's because I want to get through these, I want to make their points, and then I want to move on to the more positive things that are going to be coming out when the new phones are released. There's a lot of concern around the A14 Bionic chip, which is said to be inside of the iPhone 12 series. There have been multiple tests ran by multiple different leaking accounts and things like that on Twitter, one of which I'll show you here on the screen, basically outlining the fact that the A14 Bionic chip is not going to be an upgrade or a minimal upgrade at best compared to the A13 Bionic chip, which is in the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro. This is a very concerning thing to me. I think that if you're going to keep moving on and you're going to keep creating phones and, you know, upgrading tech and re-innovating the things, it should be at least slightly better than a marginal upgrade or a minimal upgrade. But there are reasons behind why this minimal upgrade is why it is. And that is because also coming in the iPhone 12 series, it is going to be a smaller battery, or it is rumored that there will be a smaller battery in all of the phones to accommodate for adding in 5G and all the components required to get 5G working in your phone. Now, this can be seen as an upside, given the fact that every phone from the iPhone 12 mini to the iPhone 12 Pro Max will have 5G capability at some point in time, but it's kind of at what cost scenario here, given the fact that you're sacrificing a lot of battery power, which we all know is been somewhat of an issue for Apple phones in the past. Sacrificing that for something that isn't even going to work right out of the box, and it's going to take you some time to actually start getting the 5G working unless you're in an area where 5G is prominent, like a lot of the major cities on the coasts. So for the people like me who live very inland of the US and some of the cities really don't have 5G capabilities, it's a little discouraging to hear that you're compromising some battery life just for some 5G components that'll work in a couple years. Maybe earlier than that, but who knows. Now, another downfall that's been going around the rumor mill is that the iPhone 12 series will not be shipped with a charging brick or a charging block. Now, as many people know, every iPhone, you buy one every year, it comes with a new cable and a new brick, and occasionally headphones. This can be seen as a downfall. If you've been in the Apple ecosystem for long enough, I can almost guarantee you'll have a million of these bricks laying around, especially if you've bought things like the iPad or pretty much any other Apple device. You are bound to have other bricks laying around. So personally, I don't see this as too much of a downfall, but I know that some people will. Take it for what it's worth. Apple is starting this new thing where they are trying to reduce the amount of waste that comes out of producing Apple products. Therefore, with the ridiculous number of power bricks that are out there sitting in drawers, or some people have even thrown them away and they're sitting in landfills, they're trying to reduce this number, so they're keeping the bricks out of the boxes. I don't think this is too bad of a thing. Personally, we need to save the earth, so people who are throwing away your bricks, please stop. But also, iPhone neglecting to keep them out of the box for the new iPhone 12, take it for what it's worth, and we'll kind of just leave it at that. Now on to the upsides of all the things that I've found pertaining to the iPhone 12. With the last phone being the iPhone 11 and the iPhone 11 Pro, it is known that the iPhone 11s that were not in the Pro series all came with LCD displays. With the new iPhone 12s, everything across the board from the Mini to the Pro Max will come with an OLED display or an OLED display, and this is good for a number of reasons. One, it looks a lot better. You don't have to look at the dirty old LCD displays. You're gonna have a lot truer colors to everything. Every picture, every video you watch, there'll be more true blacks and all the colors will be a lot more vibrant when you look at it. But aside from that, this is also very good for battery efficiency. OLED displays run at a lot less of a power consumption than LCD displays. Therefore, this is something that's going to be good to combat against having less battery capacity, given that we're losing that to the 5G components. So, Apple's not just leaving us in the dust here. They are trying to make different changes to accommodate for the loss of battery capacity by making sure that every phone will have an OLED display, which means there'll be a lot more battery efficiency regardless of how bright your screen is, how long your screen time is. It'll all just help out and really make a difference in the end. Now, aside from the whole battery capacity thing being an issue, Apple has came out and said that there were a number of different things that they were working on for the iPhone 12 series that were going to be small additions that were taking a lot of manpower, and they were going to be nice small things to add into the iPhone, but they have since scrapped all of these and have moved on to trying to better figure out some more things that can make your battery more efficient. Now, they didn't say what these projects were, but Apple has since said that they are trying to make sure that they give you a more efficient phone with all of the components that you are paying a premium price for. They don't want to leave us in the dust, so they have taken away all of these different side projects that they were working on, and they're working towards making our batteries more efficient in the new phone. Now, it is said that the iPhone 12 Pro Max will come with a 120 Hz refresh on its display, and it will also come with LiDAR technology and the cameras on the back, similar to the ones that are in the new iPad Pros. Now, this is an upside for those of us that are going to be going for the biggest and the best and all of that, going for the highest tier phone that Apple has to offer. But this can be seen as a downside if you are looking to buy the Pro, but not the Pro Max, because it is said, or rumored rather, that the iPhone 12 Pro Max is the only phone that will have the 120 Hz refresh and the LiDAR sensor in the camera. So just the regular iPhone 12 Pro being at the 6.1 inches for people who have smaller hands or don't want a giant phone poking out of your pocket, that is going to come at a loss to you, because you're probably not going to get that 120 Hz refresh, and I don't think that they're going to give the LiDAR sensor either. So upside for those of us that want the Pro Max, downside for those of you that want Pro Max things but you don't like the size of the phone. It's a kind of a weird thing to me, but this is also part of their idea to make the iPhone 12 Pro Max their genuine flagship phone, given that it's going to have all the best tech that Apple has to offer in one phone and downgrading from there. So it's kind of a toss-up really, depending on where you sit on the whole size of the phone ordeal. Now, as I mentioned before at the beginning of the video, as a downfall, Apple will not be shipping charging blocks with the new iPhone 12 series line. But there is an upside, because there is a rumor that although they aren't shipping with new charging blocks, there is something going around saying that Apple may be shipping the phones with a new braided charging cable. This is good for Apple users everywhere. Everyone knows, if you've been using Apple products long enough, that the charger that initially comes with your phone does break down quickly over time, and it eventually just becomes useless, and it's just like a limp piece of wire that's hanging around because the plastic coating on the outside never really stops anything, and if you bend it a couple of times, it already starts to break. But with the new braided charging cable, you could move past all of this, and this is also to help with Apple's whole reducing waste with the iPhones and all other Apple products. So if they give you a braided cable, costs a little more money to them, but at the end of the day, you're not going to go through chargers as fast, therefore they're going to be reducing their waste. You're going to get a better charger out of the deal. Everyone's happy. Now, again, this is a rumor. I don't know if this is true or not, but it would be a very smart play for Apple if they decide to do this in the future. Now, I wanted to keep the pricing out of the downsides and the upsides of the iPhone 12, mostly because we know that Apple is a premium luxury product. They are going to charge premium luxury price. We all know that this is how Apple works. So yes, their high cost of phone is a downfall, but you get it. You really do get what you pay for, I believe, in your phones. So with that, all of that being said, I'm going to go over the prices for you. And again, I want to stress, these are leaks. We do not know the actual prices of the phones, but therefore later on, when the phone actually is released, these prices could change. But for now, this is what's been going around the rumor mill. The iPhone 12 mini is said to be starting at $749. The iPhone 12 is said to be starting at $849. The iPhone 12 Pro, being in the 6.1 inch form factor, is said to be starting at $1099. And the iPhone 12 Pro Max is said to start at $1199. These are really big prices, and it's been said that the prices have been hiked up a little bit due to the fact that they are including 5G components, and that does cost a little more. I think they were saying on the fence of $150 to $200 more in the production of the phone to include 5G as opposed to not having those components in there. Now, my final thoughts on the iPhone 12. Personally, I think I'm going to get myself the iPhone 12 Pro Max. I want the best of the best. I also miss having a very large phone. I have just the regular iPhone 10, and it definitely does not do the trick for me. It is doable, but I prefer the bigger phone. I will probably get my wife the iPhone 12 Pro just because I want to have her on the upper side of the scale, but on the same time, I know she's not going to want the 6.7 inch form factor and all the things that come with that, so we're going to compromise in that retrospect. Now, with all these things in mind, I think if you have an iPhone 11 Pro, there's no real need to upgrade. You're not going to get a faster processor. You're not going to get much else. The cameras, we don't really know a whole lot about, and they could be light years better than the iPhone 11 Pro. We don't know that yet. But at this rate, from the knowledge that we do have, if you do upgrade from the 11 Pro to the 12 Pro, you're basically just upgrading for a newer form factor with the sharper edges as opposed to the curved edge, but to each their own. Now, if you have just an iPhone 11 and you're wanting to upgrade and you're thinking of getting the iPhone 12 Pro, I think that could be good for you. Again, it won't be a major upgrade, but you will be getting that OLED display, as well as possibly better cameras and things like that. And not to mention, all of these include the 5G, which I'm pretty sure the iPhone 11 or 11 Pro do not have. So minor upgrade, not the best, moving from the 11 to the 12 Pro, but if you really want the new phone and you want the new form factor, I'd say go for it. Now, for everybody else who doesn't have an iPhone 11 or an 11 Pro, and you have maybe the 10s or just the regular 10 or anything past that, I would say definitely upgrade to the iPhone 12. Whether that be the Mini or the Pro or the Pro Max, whatever it may be, odds are you're going to get a pretty good upgrade compared from your chip that you are using to the one that the iPhone 12 is using. Plus, if you don't have the iPhone 10 or the iPhone 8 Pro, you're going to get a nice upgrade to an OLED panel aside from your LCD screen, which will look light years better. Trust me, it's going to look a lot better than what you're currently using. So I would say if you're using anything that is older than the iPhone 11, definitely upgrade to some type of iPhone 12. That's going to do it for today, guys. Thank you for watching my video. If you have any other comments or things to say about the iPhone 12 or any of the information that I may have given, please let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.